Today we're talking to Martin Checketts from Mills Oakley Lawyers about some of the legal aspects of buying and selling a financial planning business.
When drafting your shareholders agreement, it's very important to think about exit mechanisms. And by that I mean not only mechanisms to sell the whole business to a third party, but also mechanisms to govern the retirement or resignation or dismissal of a shareholder who works in the business. Commonly, when working with financial planning businesses, we spend a lot of time looking at these kind of provisions because, as you'll appreciate, it's often very important to link a shareholder's equity ownership to their executive contribution in the business. This isn't a business where you have passive shareholders. People are given or purchase equity in the business or given that opportunity because of the executive contribution that they make. So the flip side of that is that when they cease to make that contribution, it's generally important to have a mechanism to buy back their equity. So there are a number of ways in which you can do that. Generally, what we would do with clients is to prepare a list of what we would call default events. In other words, events that will trigger the forced sale of a shareholder's shares in the financial planning company. And those default events might include resignation as an employee, they might include dismissal as an employee, and they could also include things like insolvency or breaching the terms of the shareholders' agreement. The agreement would then go on to say that when an event of default occurs in respect of a shareholder, that gives the other shareholder the right to buy back their shares. And then the next question for the parties is, how do you value those shares that are to be bought back? Do you value them at fair market value in accordance with a formula, for example? Do you bring in an independent accountant or valuer to write a valuation report? And or do you apply a discount if there's some sort of fault or culpability on the part of the defaulting shareholder? So, for example, if a shareholder who works in the business commits an act of gross misconduct, for example, and is summarily dismissed, then is it fair for them to sell back their equity at full market value, or should a discount apply?